Alright, aka Padders, it's Sunday presentation. Grab your bowl of cereal. I'm going to present to you the Rob Liefeld Onslaught Reborn web series that we all forgot about. I got all the episodes, I clumped them together so we can just sit down with our cereal and get some Rob Liefeld goodness. Let's go. Oh, I apologize for that glare in that intro. People, aka Pad here, aka Pad 69. You got it. Come on. The eclectic one, known throughout Philly. Universal Studios. Let's just cut right through the chase. Did I earn a comment or a like or a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a thumb sideways from you guys? Come on. I do a lot of work for this channel. We've been rocking and rolling. Thank you for sticking with me. So getting to Universal Studios, and hey, I did botch that intro, but sometimes I just get excited. I just want to bring you guys cool things. I can't wait for all of you to watch the Rob Liefeld web series. He tried to document the process for this, and in my view, fails miserably, and it's beyond me that this what we're about to see isn't referenced enough. I kind of went down the internet memory hole, and that's what we do here on Sunday. We bring things that went down the memory hole, I resurrect, I get a shovel, I dig them out, and I throw them in front of your faces so no one forgets. I was in Universal Studios, oh my god, maybe 10-15 years ago, and I saw this in the Universal Studios Islands of Adventure Marvel store, and I flipped through it, and it just blew my mind, because even at the time, not regularly reading comics or just interacting with comics, but I knew Rob Liefeld. I liked Rob Liefeld. I always appreciated the energy and the cool factor. Even like, look at the cool factor. I was there. I was there on his rise and fall. And in my humble opinion, it's like I just feel like can I even talk? I just feel like Rob Liefeld never got enough credit at this time. Now, like looking back, it's a totally different story, because I do look at him as a revisionist, a historical revisionist, which is the absolute danger. But the time that I picked this up, I just wanted something to read when I got back to the hotel room, and that was it. I just wanted to entertain myself, and Rob Liefeld was an easy pickup at the time, especially when you grew up reading comic books. There's very little to get sometimes. You try and get something new, you try and get something exciting, and Rob Liefeld always meant that to me. Now, time changes, time and tide. Great Aquaman series, by the way. It changes. Our perspectives change. The way how I view Rob Liefeld now has changed. But this book does bring me back to a time that I looked at his career simply. I just looked at his career as a guy that missed deadlines but could draw and design some amazing things, period. Storyline wise, we will get into this future on this channel, but not right now. I just wanted to showcase to you a way that Rob Liefeld was trying to move this book and move these issues. Let me know how successful he was. Let me know if you're interested in this, because we will do a deep dive, and there are some things surrounding this release that I would like to get into. Mostly Rob Liefeld in his pencil phase, not getting inked phase. So, and he later kind of comes out of his pencil phase to back into finished looking artwork. So, like, there's a couple different things. If you want to know more about this, let me know. We'll do a deep dive on this channel. I'll go through the artwork, what Marvel was doing at the time, set it up perfectly, tee it up, and then I'm not even sure what this is on Amazon or eBay. I think it did go up in value because it was only reprinted like this only one other time. But guys, Rob Liefeld trying to sell you some comics on today's Sunday presentation. Let's go.
Hey, I'm Rob. Drawn Onslaught Reborn. It's been 10 years. 10 years ago we were all doing Heroes Reborn. Captain America is one of the comics we were doing as a part of Heroes Reborn. It's 10 years later. We got the gang back together. Jeff Loeb is writing. I'm drawing. It's a lot of things have changed in 10 years. Can't believe we're even doing a sequel to this. But it's coming out November 29th. And just thought I would share some of the process, give you a behind-the-scenes peek of what I do. Got Onslaught here. Keep him nearby because he's kind of a difficult character to reference. And in the course of 10 years, Marvel's changed, ownership's changed hands several times since we did this. Marvel's in a really good spot now. So when they asked me to come back and do it, you know, I was excited, especially with Jeff Loeb on board. It's one of Jeff's first projects coming back to Marvel Comics. And, you know, Jeff and I met when I was originally doing Captain America. That was the first thing we did together. And over the course of 10 years, I mean, he's, you know, become a gigantic writer in the comics industry. So the idea of teaming up and revisiting this is really cool. And, you know, over the course of the 10 years, I mean, my life's drastically changed. I've got a family now. I got 3 kids. I've been married 11 years. Just totally different perspective that I bring to this than I used to. And right now, drawing a page featuring the Hulk and Thor, and it's a page from issue 2. I know there's concern from people, is this book going to be out on time? We are as ahead on any project as I've ever been. So, you know, check back. There'll be different videos throughout the weeks to come, up to and through the release of Onslaught Reborn. So, come back tomorrow. Hulk and Thor play a pretty big role in the Heroes Reborn stuff. Hulk was dramatically different in Heroes Reborn. He was much bigger. He was younger. Bruce Banner was younger, and he had longer hair, which I always thought was cool. Will Spertasio completely redesigned the character in terms of giving him the longer hair, making him much, much larger than the regular Hulk in the regular continuity, and just a really, really different, more kind of a savage, wild look to him. I always preferred it. I just thought it was just fantastic what Willis did with it. Thor is a little different too. There's no cape on Thor. His hammer is much longer. He's got braids. He's got a bit different costume altogether. I was actually trying to incorporate old Jack Kirby designs into the from Jack's Eternals. I always liked some of the designs of the Eternals characters, and I tried to incorporate those Kirby designs with the original Kirby designs when I was putting together the Heroes Reborn look for Thor, because I just always liked Icarus and some of those other characters, and so it was like kind of a cool opportunity to put various Kirby costume designs together and make, you know, a modernized version of Thor. And you know, hopefully, hopefully it's unique and identifiable as the Heroes Reborn Thor. Why don't you come here and talk to me about it? What do you need? I said, what do you need? What do you need? Come here and tell me about it. Why is that? Come here and tell me about it. Come here and tell me about it.
You saying I'm not your friend tomorrow? And I said no.
Well, you're brothers. You know, sometimes you're gonna have disagreements. What do you want me to do?
What?
What do you want me to do?
Give him a spanking.
Say what?
Give him a spanking.
Uh-oh. Hey, Chase,
But
who's your favorite superhero?
every single one.
Okay, good answer. Okay, go get along with your brother.
No, he's not my friend. I'm not his friend anymore.
Okay.
I'm watching the Lakers.
What channel?
I don't know. 009.
What's the score?
Let's see.
Okay. Okay, go play.
You're my friend. I'm not taking over.
Okay. Hey, it's Rob again. Doing more Onslaught Reborn. Question I get asked a lot over the years is, where do you draw? How do you, do you draw in your office? Do you draw at a table? I have never used a table since I've been in comics. I've always used a lap board, which is a lot more mobile for me. I can take it wherever I want. I can take it with me to the coffee house, to the library. A lot of the times, and this is, I'm not kidding, I've drawn pages in the car. I just park outside of Kinko's and I'll work, a couple hours on a page, because unless I go sit outside Kinko's, I know I won't get the page done. So it's like something I don't want to do, but it helps motivate me to get the thing done so I can get a good copy of it and then send it out in the mail. But more Onslaught 2 stuff that I'm drawing today. And great thing about Jeff Loeb, he always makes room for really big moments. He's old school. He likes the action in comics. Just the other day I was looking at a bunch of the old Kirby stuff and John Buscema stuff, and just so many throwdowns in comics that you just don't see much anymore. And Jeff has really jammed the second issue of Onslaught Reborn with a lot of action. In the second issue, Cap and Iron Man and all the Heroes Reborn Avengers show up and throw down with Onslaught for the first time, and it's just a great sequence. This particular sequence is a double-page spread. Used to really dig doing double-page spreads when I was a kid. Nowadays they're just they're more daunting. You got to fill up the page, and I think it's true with any artist who's worked for a really long time. You have to really consider, like, not repeating your shot and trying a new angle on something that maybe you've done before. And in this case, the Avengers, Jeff was very specific. Cap is in the foreground hitting Onslaught, who's in the foreground, and Iron Man and Thor are coming up behind him, and Bucky is comforting Franklin. And so, I generally do a couple different layouts before I actually go about completing the page. And then once I get the layout that I want, I blow it up, transfer it on the light table, and a couple hours later come out with a page. Most of my time now is spent in layouts, just figuring out that shot, not repeating. And the most relaxing part of the whole process is actually drawing the page and just figuring it out. I'm actually on the end stage here on this page. What's up, dude? I also like to draw outside a lot. I don't like being confined to an office, so being outside, just out of my house, period, whether it's a car, outside in the backyard, at a different locale, like I said, a Starbucks somewhere. I just like to kick back and draw. I like to watch, people, and in the backyard it's great because the kids are always playing, and I function well with commotion at conventions. That's why I think I can do as many sketches that I can do, because there's always commotion. There's something going on, so it's not boring. It's not dull. So this is coming together. I've got to do a shot of the city here. in the back. This is the harbor. There's water down here, and this is the George Washington Bridge. So I got to do the city in the background here, and then this thing will be complete. A few more finishing touches, and that'll do it. Hey, Rob here, back on Onslaught Reborn Detail. A lot of times after I draw a page, I try and color it up just so I can see what I'm doing and see if the lighting is right, seeing if I'm getting, the costume details, try and throw in some background ideas. I'm just able to see stuff better in color. I remember my buddies telling me when I first broke in, they said, you won't be able to see your stuff completely how it's going to look until you see it in color. And you won't be able, it'll get to the point where you have to see it in color. You'll stop thinking in black and white. And I totally get what they're saying now. So every time I do a page, I try and do some cheap watercolor with these. I generally raid my kids' art set and then use their crayons and their watercolors and stuff and just do a cheap mock-up. In this case, it's just Iron Man's blast is green in the Heroes Reborn Iron Man. Iron Man's got a different armor. And so just trying to see how the different lighting effects will reflect off him, the core lighting, and then seeing how the lighting will reflect off Onslaught, and then reflect off on Cap and on his shield, and seeing if that's a direction I want to go. But then, with my whiteout, I put in like a lightning bolt, just trying to see how this stuff will go. I did earlier here before I went to the green. I did the green light, but I didn't add it all the way in I ended it on Cap's back, the rim lighting, and then I went for the yellow lighting on his shield. I didn't think that looked right. But a lot of the times I do multiple versions of pages to better visualize, what I'm doing. And a lot of times I then go back and I adjust based on how it looks in color. I start seeing where I should drop blacks. So doing stuff in color really helps me better visualize the page. Hey, Rob again. Working on more Onslaught Reborn. Gearing up for the eventual release of this book. Trying to get as many issues in the can as possible before the first issue ships. Got to build some retailer confidence in this project. Number one thing I hear all the time is about any comic book, not just mine, is complaints about it being late, being on time. So I totally understand that. So we're working hard to get this out and make sure that it ships on time every issue for the duration of the run. It's funny, my favorite part about Heroes Reborn and doing Onslaught Reborn is drawing Captain America. There is no better character to draw from pretty much any company. I just love drawing Captain America. I love drawing him 10 years ago. I love drawing him now. I know there was a lot of controversy surrounding my first drawings of Captain America, and I only have myself to blame. The controversy, from what I understand, comes from I gave Cap big boobs, and really dumb thing to do. I had drawn the picture of Cap and I put it up to get it colored by my guys in the studio, and when it was done I sent it off to Jim Lee. I sent it off to Marvel. Jim Lee called me immediately, told me I needed to reduce the size of Cap's chest, which it was late. It was like 2 in the morning. I was like, no, it looks good. It's good to go. And I will probably never live down that shot of Cap, who rightfully his chest is ridiculous. It's obscene. Funny thing that shot has never been published as part of Heroes Reborn. It was used as a promotional piece in a couple magazines, but thank God it never was published. It circulates pretty much as it is, but you know, otherwise it's funny. I get asked to draw Cap all the time at the shows that I go to, all the different shows that I attend. Cap is easily one of the top characters I'm asked to sketch. I can guarantee about 10 to 12 Caps per show. This last summer I drew a ton of Caps, obviously on the heels of the news that we were doing another edition of Heroes Reborn. I think that's helped fuel it, but for years he's always up there, along with Cable and Deadpool, as characters that I'm identified with. So I love drawing Cap too. I dig him. It's a fun character to draw, and I love all the new stuff that has been added to his costume, specifically the chainmail, the different chainmails. I think John Cassaday was the first guy to implement all the chainmail, drawing each one. Just makes it look cool. Looks like he has a suit of armor on. But anyway, so I'm digging drawing Cap. Looking forward to drawing lots of him. So far, I've drawn plenty of him in the first 2 issues. So looking forward to drawing more Captain America in the weeks to come, and getting set for Onslaught Reborn to ship here in a couple weeks. So I keep talking about Heroes Reborn being 10 years ago. Onslaught Reborn is a sequel to Heroes Reborn. Big event, happened 10 years ago, 1996. So I got to thinking, what was popular in 1996? And so I Googled 1996, and I came up with some good stuff. Good stuff. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we had music, top of the charts, swept the Grammys. Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette was popular in 1996, 10 years ago. She's still popular, right? Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise had 2 hits in 1996. Jerry Maguire, Mission Impossible. Big Tom. He's still popular. I think he's still popular, right? Tom? And Big Mel Gibson, 1996, 5 Academy Awards. Mel Gibson, 5 Academy Awards, Braveheart, 10 years ago. Mel Gibson. I mean, come on. Mel? Still popular? Janet Jackson? Janet Jackson was big 10 years ago. Well, with this new information, I think our new announcement couldn't be timelier. Onslaught Reborn is no longer a sequel to Heroes Reborn 10 years ago. Let me be the first to announce that Onslaught Reborn is now officially part of Civil War. Onslaught, Civil War. November, we're launching, Onslaught, not part of Heroes Reborn, not 10 years ago with Mel and Tom and Alanis. Onslaught, Civil War, we're current. So don't miss it, man. This is timely. The Civil War continues. Onslaught. Hey, Rob here doing more Onslaught Reborn pages as we prepare for the release of Onslaught Reborn in November. This is for issue 2. This particular page, this is an insight into how I come about getting to my final pages. I generally start with a small layout that I work out the composition on, as I do here. I fold 11 by 17 paper and end up using different corners of it, getting at least 4 sheets out of it, to where I come up with this this shot, which features the Avengers in their jet. From there, I go and I blow that up to what you see here, a larger version of this. I let the copy machine, get it up to speed, and then the fun part is I take my tracing paper and I go out and I start to detail the characters through. I knew that this was Bucky, I knew that this was Franklin, I knew that this was Thor, this was roughed in roughly as Cap, but now as I go over it, Cap becomes clearer, Thor becomes clearer, Franklin becomes clearer, Bucky. This is Swordsman hanging upside down in the jet. This is Hellcat. The cool thing about in the Heroes Reborn universe, you know, we had to we made Cap and Thor and Iron Man. We kind of retained their original costumes with some minor tweaks, but the cool part was with Bucky and Swordsman and Hellcat and Hawkeye, we were able to, since they were secondary characters, play with their looks and change them drastically. For instance, Swordsman looked nothing like the classic Swordsman in the Marvel Universe, and you know, it's just cool getting these characters in on the action in issue 2 as Jeff brings everybody, you know, into the conflict together. And doing a shot like this is just a lot of fun because you get to draw the whole team. So as I complete this, next time we'll come back and you'll see a more completed version as I take this and transfer this onto the actual Bristol paper that we'll make the final page from. So yeah, here we are, no Onslaught 3. What's the deal, man? I need that comic. I'm tempted to take it down to the printer locally, print up 10,000, distribute them, drive store to store. Hey, when you're on Onslaught 3, check it out. But that would be copyright and trademark infringement. That would get me sued. So that's not going to happen. But anyway, gives me time to brush up on my needlepoint, my cooking skills for the upcoming Top Chef audition, and my white wrapping skills for white wrap. Hey everybody, doing this video question and answer session from my message boards at robliefeld.net, and just taking some different questions that you guys have submitted and trying to give you the best answers quicker than me typing them out, because I don't type real good. Howard asks, if you could only choose one of your creations to have its own film, which would it be? And that would be Youngblood. Easily, I think it has the most material to mine from. I think it's got a great cast of characters, and I think a Youngblood film would be fresh, given that you've got a lot of different genres being filled up with superheroes. You've got the young, loner, introspective teen, superpowered character in Spider-Man. You've got the family heroes with the Fantastic Four. You've got the rogue outcasts with X-Men. Obviously, the Boy Scout with Superman. Youngblood is a film that no one's seen to date, so I think it would be fresh. So that's one that I would use. Chris asks, what character design are you most proud of? And that would have to be Deadpool. Just the minute I designed Deadpool, the idea was to make a dark Spider-Man costume. Todd McFarlane was having a blast drawing Spider-Man, and I thought I should have my own Spider-Man as character, because I really can't draw Spider-Man, because I'm doing the New Mutants. And I mean, down to the big eye designs, I mean, everything was very patterned off an existing design. I pulled some different elements in it, gave him the weapons, and we're here, you know, 17 years later, and Deadpool is still going strong. So that is my favorite design. Let's see. I got a question here. Which character are you most proud of creating? That's different than design, and that would have to be Cable. I just always had a very strong vision for Cable, and again, 17 years later, I think he still matters because he's got a broad spectrum to his character. He was from the future. He was the offspring of an X-Men. He looks cool. He's older. He had a mysterious past. He still has questions about his character that haven't been answered. All those things have added to why he, you know, I still think is around today and interesting to people. Let's see. Mike asks, if I was the EIC of DC Comics, what would be my first order of business? I would make the Legion of Superheroes and the Teen Titans two top-selling books again like they were when I was a kid. Because if you haven't read the mid-'80s Legion of Superheroes that Paul Levitz wrote and Keith Giffen drew, that stuff was on par with the best stuff of that era, like Claremont and Burns X-Men. And obviously the Titans, the Wolfman and the Perez Titans, they still haven't gotten back to where that was. So that's first order of business if this fantasy of me running DC Comics were to come true. Thanks Mike and Howard and Chris and everybody else for your questions. We'll do this again in a bit. Hey, back doing another video question and answer session from the message boards over at robliefeld.net. We've got Sean, who asks, of all the books that were supposed to come out from the Thunder Agents and Coven Rejects and others, which one were you the most bummed about not being published? At the time, easily the Thunder Agents. I had always loved the Thunder Agents, thought they were the coolest team, and when we got that license, I was really excited. I had a definite vision in mind for the update, thought they were a perfect concept to update, but just as there was a failed launch for that same the Thunder Agents at DC a couple years back, the guy that owns that license, he gets cold feet really fast. He got cold feet with us, he got cold feet with DC, and it's been, 20 years since there's been new Thunder Agents material, so that one really bummed me out. I was looking forward to that. Tim P. asks, hey Tim, is it at least possible that Fighting American Dogs of War 4 or a collected edition of the series will ever be completed? And to that I say yes. In another video session I'll show you some pages that Stephen Platt drew from Dogs of War number 4. You also asked him, when are we going to see the rest of the Youngblood Maximum series? That is on deck for October. Look for it to be solicited here in a couple weeks. Tommy, the comic guy, asks, what do you enjoy more, Marvel work or solo self-owned work? You know what, except to say, when I'm doing my Marvel stuff, that's the stuff I enjoy the most. When I'm doing my creator-owned stuff, that's what I'm enjoying the most. It really depends on the day and the assignment. If I'm doing stuff at Marvel, chances are it's stuff I really wanted to do there, and they have a great catalog, a great bunch of characters, so I really enjoy doing that stuff. When I get time to do my own creator-owned stuff, I love that stuff too. Youngblood and Rejects, just to let you know, are probably the favorite stuff in my own catalog to do. And lastly here, says, what are the chances of an Art of Rob Liefeld hardcover book? That is also being put together. A couple of you asked that question. It's just a big book with a lot of stuff, and since I have a staff of just me doing it, it's going to take some time to get that together. But hopefully middle of 2008 as everything comes together for that book. So thank you, Mark, for asking that question. And Chris asked, why aren't there more Liefeld posters? There are several posters from Onslaught Reborn that will be perfect. Marvel stuff I don't control, but I will try and get more posters of my stuff out for a couple shows in the rest of the summer and fall, and put you to the test, Chris, see if people actually do want these posters. So that's it for now. Another video and answer session will come to you guys soon.